Happy Friday. Welcome to another craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So we were working on the Splendid Sampler 2 this week, but I thought I'd take today and get prepped for more of my leader and ender quilt. So that is all those half square triangle pieces that I've been cutting up and turning into these little grids, these half square triangle grids. Ultimately, I'd like to make a cute little chore coat out of it. And all of this is made out of old clothing that I've saved, or old blankets that I've saved from somewhere from ages ago. I don't even know from where, but it came from a bin that that we had, and I'm actually out of my little squares. I actually have a few here. I have a few dark colored squares left, but I have no light colored squares, so I need to pair a light with a dark. So I have a bin of old clothing here. And I need to make some more of these squares. I haven't been able to work on this leader and ender quilt in a while, just because I ran out of squares. So it's time to get them back. So that is the plan. So all right, let's get going on that tonight. Okay. So if you don't already know what my leader and ender quilt is, that is the quilt that I've been sewing, like a leader and ender on the sewing machine. It's that little piece of fabric that you start and stop your sewing with, just so you don't have tons and tons of strings all over the place, is one of the reasons. But instead of using one of those little extra scrappy fabrics, I thought, well, let's use actual fabric, and whenever I have to end a row, I'll just sew another seam in something else. And that's why I call it my leader and ender quilt. I've been sewing old like men's dress shirts, like John's shirts from ages ago, like when it loses an elbow or something like that. I've been cutting it up and sewing it into these. We have a whole stack of this project graduated to a project bin. It's just been in a little like box like this, but we have a whole pile of these already made. They're all half square triangles, so I think they're really, really fun. Ultimately, so here's an in progress one. This one only has 3 on, and here's just a little one too. So those are kind of finished ones. I'd like to sew it into one of these chore coats, because I just think that'd be so fun. So make a whole quilt and then like turn it into like a fun like quilted coat. So I found these patterns, like these vintage patterns, and these are different sizes. That's why I have the two. This is a size small and this is a size medium. So I kind of went with the small after looking at the things. I think that'll be fine. I might actually still make a muslin out of this eventually. But I have, in general, like how much I need for this whole coat. So like, I need, for the front, I need 2 pieces that are 40 inches or 16 inches by 40 inches. That's like for the front of the coat. So I'm making, I think these are ending up about 8 to 10 inches. I forget if it was 10 inches or 8 inches. Well, these should be 2 inches each. So this is about 10 inches. So like 2 of these across and 4 down should get like one side of the front. So I haven't really estimated how many of these I need, but I can, because I've done the measurements. So one of these days I know I have a long way to go yet, so that's why I haven't bothered kind of counting how many more of these I need. But that's generally the plan with this. I have some squares at different stages. So like I said, here's the pieces that are ready to sew. They're 3-inch squares, but I only have darks left. I don't have any lights. So I got to go in my bin here and like pull out what I would consider a light, maybe these 2, and cut more of those. But then I've been sewing on either side of the diagonal, so on both sides of the diagonal. So after that, that's where we cut it. And we have 2 half square triangles at that point, just like how we were working last night. So we'll have a half square triangle on that side and a half square triangle on this side after we cut down the diagonal. And then we get to this where we've pressed them all. So I have 3 stacks of these that all need to be trimmed. So if it wasn't for me needing more actual fabric squares tonight, I would just spend the evening just trimming these because that would take forever. But after they're trimmed, then I can start sewing them together again. And I've been doing that as a leader and ender too, just sewing them together. So that's where this is at. I'm going to close this up though because I do want to start here. I want to start with my lights. And oh, here's a pile of lights. So let's just grab these. These are like way old shirts that I'm not even sure I completely recognize anymore. Like these are at least 15 years old, everything in here. Gosh, some way more than that. So this is kind of what I've dedicated to this project. If I run out, I have a whole other bin downstairs, I think, of more clothing. So that's that. So 3-inch pieces here. Ooh, and this ruler happens to be 3 inches wide, so this is going to work great, I think. Oh, I suppose we should maybe press and stuff too. Oh gosh, yeah, what the heck kind of shirt was this? Okay, so I have, gosh, can I even get 3 inches out of here? Oh, I just can. Oh my gosh. So we are going to be just kind of crazy piecing things together. I think I am going to just press some of these, and just like these little parts that I know we're not going to do anything with, I'm going to snip apart because this is going to be just hard to cut. So let's snip that, and this is going to be a whole Frankenstein sewing event just to kind of get these pieces together. Gosh, this is so lightweight. But I love just this kind of recycling old clothes. Ugh, God, they smell old too. That's weird. That's how it goes, though. I suppose it's been sitting around forever. I can probably only get one out of these, actually. Yeah, I'm not going to bother cutting them that way. We'll see. And let's get this one. We'll start with these 3 pieces and keep going after that. So I think I'm just going to do a lot of cutting and turning. So let's get some of these other rulers just out of my way. I'm probably not going to need those quite yet. Okay, and I can probably attempt to layer some of this at least. Maybe let's get this guy in here too. See how this goes. Okay, I wonder, can I get 2 out of here? Yeah, no way. What about 2 this way? Nope. Nope, can't get 2 that direction either. So this piece here is just going to give me 1. Gosh, like here's the struggle in my head right now. Like, I know I'm going to have like a chunk like this. Do I throw that in my scrap bin, or is this actual garbage at some point? You know what I mean? I think some of this will be scraps, and some I think will, like these little thin guys, that they can graduate to actual garbage, I think. And then this big chunk, maybe I'll save. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. So this guy, you can hang around a little bit. I might be able to get 1 out of here. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's line up my edge. That looks good. So right there I can get 1. But probably not 2. No, so I'm just going to go zoop. There we go. So this will be extra. I'll let that be. Okay. Let's cross-cut these. So I think I can probably shimmy this one up a hair. Ooh, there we are. This one I gotta bring all the way up. And this guy. Okay. So I think we'll just scooch a little in like this. This makes me happy. This will have more done here by the end of the night. Oh, does the smell of the, Kimberly's asking, does the smell of the fabric seem like eventually it will wash out, or is it always going to smell? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I'm assuming it'll be fine. Like, I'm assuming just I'll run it through the wash. I mean, it smells like maybe just like old detergent, I guess, a little bit. You know, it's been probably 10 years since it's been washed, and it's sat in a plastic bin for a while, and it's just been kind of sitting out. I'm assuming it'll be just fine once it goes through the wash again. I mean, these have been washed. It's like clothing that's been washed a zillion times, so I'm sure it's fine. It just smells like old detergent, I think. Yeah, I'm going to cut here, but I know this front one's not going to work, so let's just get rid of that. This next one I don't think is quite big enough just by a tiny hair, but I think just like it's nicked a little bit there, but I think I'm going to let it pass. All right. Excuse me, man. It is definitely time to defuzzle this whole area. We've been doing so much cutting and working with fabric that it's just been a lot. Okay, I already have a stack of light colors going. That feels awesome. Let's keep going. I need a ton of these. Like, I'd like a stack like this tall, really. And then I do need to cut some darks as well. All right, but we got to start here tonight. That feels great. All right, so we got a few more of these blue pieces. Ooh, this must have been a weird sleeve. This should get us some. A really wrinkly sleeve. I don't think I've always pressed these in the past, like pressed before just cutting my 3 inches, but I think, yeah, I mean, especially with this one I need it, but I'm gonna keep pressing for the rest of the evening for sure. All right, we got that guy. Let's cut a few more. Ooh, this feels like another big sleeve too. Good. So we'll just layer these on top of each other. And that will be it for this shirt. So this little feller is gonna get a new life, I suppose. After a bajillion years in basically a bin. We're slow motion recycling again. That's what we're doing here. All right, let's do these two guys. What are you making, sweetie? I am making, let's get some of those out again. I am making, ultimately, I'm going to be making a chore quilt, but I'm making it out of old clothing that I'm sewing into like these half square triangle blocks. So I'm just making a whole pile of these, and eventually I'm going to be sewing it into a quilted chore quilt. That's the ultimate plan here. but I'm only sewing while I'm working on other projects. So my leader and ender that I use just when I start and stop sewing, that's what I'm replacing with like these pieces of fabric. So as I'm sewing other projects, I'm sewing this quilt. So it's like a long-term project for sure. But like I said, I'm slow motion recycling my old clothing. These are shirts and blankets and stuff from a zillion hundred years ago. But it's going to become this chore quilt, so it's going to live a new life at some point. So I feel good about that. I'm just kind of seeing how many I can get out of here. Yeah, really only 2. Might be able to get a third one up here if I get real close to start, but then I can't get that close to start because I need the length. Alright, we might just get like 2 out of here. We'll go right. Yeah. Yep, I think that's going to be our first cut. Alright, let's do it. I'm going to go all the way to the top though. And the other little pieces, maybe I'll turn into like an improv piece thing again. I do like doing that. I just can't get rid of it. I need to make like some stuffed animals or something that are all stuffed with scraps or something like that, because this is getting ridiculous hanging on to this stuff. Alright. But, I don't know. I just have to. Okay, that's 1 cut. 2, and I might be able to squeeze one out of here. So I'm starting with 3-inch squares, and then going to those are turning into 2 half-square triangles that are like I think like 2.5 inches total. Oh, sweetie, it says I'm working on a t-shirt quilt. Oh, so you're slow motion recycling too. That's nice. All right, I think I can get one. I can maybe get one here. I think that'll maybe work. Yeah, we'll see. Actually, I'm going to just cut that while I'm right here. Scooch these out of the way, though. See if I can get a 3-incher out of here. Are you using for your t-shirt quilt, are you using any sort of stabilizer or anything? I haven't made one, but we have a bunch of shirts. My mom and I have been kind of, just enough. That's kind of been on our radar to do a t-shirt quilt, but I know people keep recommending different stabilizers to use with it, but I haven't I feel like I need to run an experiment on different t-shirt stabilizers. Oh, Amy, there you go. Scraps to stuff pin cushions. That's what we should do. Okay. That's what we should do with all these. All right, I'm just going to line these up so I can make a good beginning cut, and then we'll cross cut all these. Yep, I have to look up. I haven't made pin cushions before. I know we've talked about it, but let's scooch down. I'll have to look up some cute patterns. I know in my head what I would want to make are those cute little teacup pin cushions where it's like a vintage teacup, or then I can go to the Valley Village and find some really cute mugs or something, and then those turn into pin cushions. I think those are just so sweet. I've seen those in stores before, and they're just cute. I'd love to do one of those. All right, let's cross cut these 3-inchers. And then we'll be done with this shirt. it does feel like I do feel like I'm reusing this stuff. Like I do feel like, oh, I am recycling this stuff. I feel like it's less. I feel like I'm emptying something. Like I'm emptying a bin. You know, it's stuff I could just throw stuff away and then the bin would be empty. But that's another way of finishing a project. It's just to toss it. But I don't know. This stuff has been sitting around for a while. Oh, those are still 4. I thought I'd. Oh, those are still full. I thought I wouldn't have any more there. Yeah, it just feels good using it up, and it's just gonna be like such a like rustic chore coat that I can just throw on. It's gonna be my new house coat probably when it gets real cold. And I work in the basement now, so like that gets pretty chilly. So I always kind of throw on, you know, a sweater or something. So I could just throw this on. That'd be cool. That's probably the real ultimate thing. Alright, so here is my stack. So far, that's the first fabric. Alright, here's the next leftover shirt, and I think that's all I have left of that. Let's grab, this is a pretty light colored one too, so we'll do this shirt next. Man, all this cutting always takes a long time. I think we have this dark. That won't last us very long, but I'm thinking that if I work on trimming those half square triangles, those can be my leaders and enders for a little while. So if I get a little bit of this light colored and dark color racked up here, I could trim those half square triangles for a little while and get more. Or I don't know, maybe I just keep, I think I should probably just keep trimming. Doing this tonight. I'll just keep cutting fabric. It goes fast. It sews fast, so I go through them quickly. Ooh, now these are other weird pieces. It's kind of funny. Like clearly some of these I've cut already from some chunk of clothing. So I don't know why I'd cut a big hole out. Unless there was like a weird pocket or something, but that seems odd. Ooh, this is a weird shape. So I can get some 3-inch pieces out of here for sure. Then maybe up here? I don't know. We're going to have to play around with that one. But let's just press the other pieces in this kind of grouping. Is this 3 inches? We'll see. Might be close. Oh, and another super oddball shape. Huh. Unless I used this fabric for something before, but I can't recall off the top of my head a project that I would have done that with. Oh, except for like teddy bears. I used to make teddy bears out of recycled clothing like this. Maybe this was a teddy bear. That could be. That could be. All right, let's just analyze this a little bit. I think. Okay, so I can get 3 out of here. Okay, 9 inches would be like kind of stopping here. Oh wait, that was the wrong direction. No, 9 inches is right here. Yeah, so I could go up to like 12 inches, and then that would end here, and then see what I can get out over here. I think let's do that. Let's, I'm gonna just chop into this. So let's do just sort of at that 12-inch mark. This is where I'll get a bunch out of, and then down here I think we can get just 1. So I'll just trim that. So this will give us a few. This will give us 1, and then this should give us a few as well. Okay, so that's the first kind of grouping. Lay this way, that's more straight. One at a time here. Okay. And we'll get this this guy hanging out down here. I guess we're doing this first. I thought I'd layer this stuff too. Oh, maybe I can. This guy. This I wasn't sure if we could get 3 inches out of, but we'll see. All right, let's do that. Okay, scraps. I really could just save all these scraps. I should just start like a big bin of like super duper scraps. Oh god, you know what I'd love to do? Has anyone ever done this? I feel like I've seen this, but it's kind of like a vague idea in my head of people who take old fabric scraps like this and somehow scrape it up or pull it apart or something, and they basically turn it into fluff, I guess, and then they can go in and put it on one of those, oh my god, like one of those drums with those like scratchy needles in it. Oh my god, what is that called? That like people who make yarn and stuff use. It just kind of blends it all together. I feel like I've heard about that somehow with like old fabric scraps. Like somehow those can get loosened up and put on one of those things, and then it can just turn into thread again, basically, like yarn. Like it can be done, yeah, into yarn and stuff like that. Is that a thing? Let me know, because that'd be cool. All right, I'm going to cut this other piece before cross-cutting. We'll just cross-cut it all together. Oh, okay, so it's one more of these kind of deals. Let's look at this again. Oh, yeah, like a Carter. One of those. All right, I'm going to go just like, okay, this can't get 3 inches, so I'm not going to worry about that. But this, I think I can get a 12-inch. So I'm just going to go like that, and then this piece we'll figure out up here. Yeah, like, but it's like a special like drum Carter. Yeah, and then you can turn it into, oh god, I don't know any of the terminology for that craft. That's crazy. I should know some of that stuff. But yeah, that you use in a spinning wheel later. So like it's good enough to like you're making the what is that, like that you needle felt with? What's that? The roving. You make the roving. Like you can turn old fabric like this into roving, but through like one of those Carters, like, but like, you know, a hefty duty one somehow, and then turn this into roving that can then be spun. Is that a thing? Maybe that's just like a super duper industrial thing. I don't know. Because that would be cool. That I could see doing. Like, completely just throwing all, like, blending up or whatever. Chopping up some of this all these old scraps. And then figure out how to turn it into new roving or something. That'd be cool. Yeah, that bottom piece I can't get 3 out of, so we're actually kind of done with this piece. Let's see if we can get a few out of here. Yep. All right, now let's cross-cut the heck out of all these. We'll do the shortest guys on top. Let's go shortest to biggest here. Ooh, that's a little baby one. Okay, I think this is the biggest one. Feels good to work on this. I haven't worked on this in a while, and now I can actually use it again. use the pieces again. I've been without this project for a while. Bumming me out. Ooh, I'm not sure my rotary cutter is going to be able to cut through all this. I mean, I do have, this is pretty thin fabric, but still, it's still kind of a lot, but we're going to do it anyway. All right, I mean, it's going to be the most right at the beginning here. So I did like the longest at the bottom and went up to the shortest just so I can see the little edges that I can throw away as I go here. Ah, got it, no problem. All right, let's rotate around. Man, this little ruler's coming in handy. This is like, I like having a long ruler like this that's kind of skinny, but I probably use it the least compared to my nice bigger one and my little square one. But this is perfect for this project, this 3 inches. Okay, I think all of you guys are dead. You too. That one I think I can get another. Just barely. I'm going to call it okay. Another one where I just have a little nick off the end, but I think we can work with that. And one more. Okay, our stack's getting bigger. We're going to have a lot of cutesy little white sides of the half square triangle soon, because I'm just usually, like, most of this is all of John's. Like, this was like from an old flannel blanket, I think, this green, so that's why I have tons and tons of it. But yeah, I guess this one's from one of my old shirts too. It's got a little floral thing. But most of these are from, you know, these other ones. This I hardly recognize. It is really old. These are old shirts from way back in the day. They blew their elbows out a long time ago or something, or just got fitting real weird. I barely recognize any of this, which is crazy to me. All right. Gosh, this is so lightweight too. All right, so this is another old shirt that's kind of cute. It's going to be another one of our lights. All right, let's just set you guys aside. Falling off my the mat here. I shouldn't be pressing on the mat, but I'm not pressing very long, so. But I needed a flat surface. Lots of little pieces here. This one must have had a lot of pockets or a button-down thing or something, because I cut all that away. I've saved the buttons on these, so all the buttons in my little button bin are from a lot of these old shirts and stuff too. But for this one to be chopped up and so, or this had like a lot of pleats, I bet you, or darts and stuff. I bet you that's what's happening here. That's why I've cut out the darts already, and I'm just left with these kind of long pieces. I bet you that's the deal. Fuzzles. Oh, and then we got some sleeves again. A little bit bigger fabric. Soft though. It'd be nice to have a blankie made out of this. Super soft, it's super thin. This is kind of stained a little bit down here, but who cares? I kind of keeping all that stuff in the quilt. It's like if there's paint on it or something. Let's go in. All right. Let's maybe get these guys on here first. Go with that 14. How many inches do we get there? 12. Good. 12 is a multiple of 3. Here, I'm going to flip it this way so they match. Ooh, this one's shorter though. Yeah, we'll still get it. Okay. Now let's get some of these. Make over the 14. Yep. I just can't see the line, so I'm just making sure I'm going over. That's good. Because I'm doing all this at once. Okay, last one. Oh, that's kind of a little chunky piece. Okay, let's cut. Again, normally I probably wouldn't do this many pieces, but it is so thin that I don't think it's going to matter. What's crazy is that this barely makes a dent. Like, even in this small little case here, I pulled them out of the side right here. You can't even tell that it reduced the bulk at all. That's just nuts. And this is going to make a whole pile more of these squares here. So, man, this fabric goes a long way. That's why I didn't want to just throw it all out. All right, you are done. All of you are. Okay. Oop, there. And you're not quite 3 all the way. So about right there we end. I'll just have to keep my eye out on the end there. Okay, let's layer these up and trim them. I don't know how well we'll be able to do this. It's pretty long. We'll go over this first edge here. Could probably do 2 rows. Man, you guys, I'm still just itching to just sit and do more tatting. That was so fun, and that's all I want to do right now is just tat. So, I don't know. Sometime this weekend, I might have to sit down and do a little bit more of that, but we'll see. I think we're pretty swamped this weekend, but that just sounds so relaxing. lazy pieces here. Just kind of trading off a little bit. Let's do this one first. All right, we are ready to trim. All right. I think maybe I'll try and do one dark after this, like one dark one, and then I'll have kind of evened out my lights and darks. I'll have a tiny stack. This is barely making a dent, though, in like, I want like a huge stack of each of these, but it's something. We can work on it again now. We weren't able to I wasn't able to even work on the leader and ender quilt. I ran out of these pieces. But yeah, I could probably just spend a day just cutting 3-inch pieces. Okay, now you are too small. But you, I'm gonna call okay. Well, if any weird pieces are hidden in here, I'll obviously see them when I take items to like the two sides to sew later, so I'm not going to worry too much about accidentally having a shorter piece underneath. Alright, these are all done. You're done. And I can get one more cut up there. Good progress. Kind of nothing. I mean, we're not doing anything fancy today. We've just been trimming this, but prep work is important too. So here are the lights that I have now. I didn't have any, so we got a good stack of lights going. Here's what's left of the darks. I think I want to do one more stack of darks here. And I don't know, this looks like a good dark. Or I can do more of this red, which is kind of fun. I think I'll do more of the red. Let's just pull that out. Ugh, this is a lot. What was this? This had to be some sort of weird shirt. Maybe we'll take a little bit of that and a little bit of something else here just to keep it mixed up. Ooh, look at this one. This one's kind of pretty. Let's do this. Okay, so these two will be our darks. Even though this could really be considered a light, like these two as a light and dark would be really pretty together. But next to a light color, like a true light, it feels dark yet. So let's consider it a dark. We'll do these guys up, and then we should have a pretty good stack going. That sounds good. This is pretty. See, like, I don't recognize, in my head, I'm like trying to imagine John wearing stuff out of these things, but I don't recognize any of this. Wow, this is a huge chunk of fabric. Okay, you get a lot more out of men's clothing, apparently. There's no darts, there's no any of that stuff to cut out, so, geez, this is a huge piece of fabric here. I'll have to, like, fold it up to cut it a little bit, I think. Cutting mat's not big enough. Ugh, this is a whole different smell. This is, again, like just old laundry detergent. That's what it smells like. Ugh, yeah. We'll definitely be washing all these. Oh, this is another nice big chunk. Okay, cool. So 2 big pieces. Might just fold them both in half and trim them. So we'll do that first quick, and then we'll get that other one. And I think that will be that. Ooh, and next week, you guys, we work on that new embroidery. Our November embroidery of the month will be stitching up here. I always like doing embroidery here. It's just nice and close up and fun. I like it. All right, let's kind of do it this way, I think. I'm gonna cut on that line 13 there, I think. All right, let's get this one. We'll just chop it up and see what we get. Oh man, this one, I feel like I need to fold again. Kind of want to hit on the middle here though, because that's going to be the longest part. I suppose it doesn't matter so much because we'll have the other side here. Trying to match up the folds a little bit. I think I'm just going to start and then I'll just shimmy it down. Yeah, these aren't quite aligned. Okay. Let's go for it. Yeah, I usually wash all my quilts after I make them. First of all, I think it just kind of cleans up all the fuzzles, but it also like poofs it up. Like it gives it that like poofy quilt feel to it. So I kind of like it when it gets all cleaned. I think my mom does that too, but I don't remember if she does that if she's gifting it. I think she does. I think that is when she does it because she doesn't know if anyone else will wash it or anything. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to refold these. Don't think, yep, not getting a 3 out of that one anymore. Yeah, I'm going to call that one. That one's a little too close. All right, so we're left with these. I'm going to refold them so I can move the ends over. Then we might have to undo the fold at the end just to see if there's more to it. Again, this is all super duper thin fabric, so this had to be some sort of weird dress shirt or something. I think I'm gonna have to start another row again. I might just get through this. I might not get through a whole nother piece of fabric, but that's fine. I'll have a few more darks and a whole pile of lights. So I'm good for a little teeny bit longer. I will have to do this pretty soon again, or at least trim the ones that I have done, because once they're trimmed and ready to sew into a quilt block, I can use those as leaders and enders too. But right now I have nothing from this project I can use before doing some more processing. So that's what we're doing now. We're processing more raw fabric into the 3-inch squares. Okay, now we're set. Still don't look like I made a dent in any of my big fabric bin here. Okay, all of this is scrap. Okay. It's a big, hefty chunk's worth. That's good. Okay, now here I can just fold this back already. I have two tucked underneath here that I won't be able to do that with, though. I'll have to trim those. All right, and next I got to open all these up, it looks like. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. All right, this stack is fine. Oh, see, we got some folded ones tucked under there that I can do. All right, let's rejigger these. I'm gonna just use the edge that's most square and just line those all up. Got a bunch out of here. I actually almost have as much as that light pile that we did already. Okay, scrap. Scrap. I just want to improv piece all these now. Okay. All right, so I think that's probably pretty good for now. There we go. Oh, that's kind of a lot. So that's all of our darks now, and here's our reds. Dang, those are pretty equal. Maybe a little bit more of the light colored, but this will give us at least a little bit more, you know, a few more times that we can, well, we can actually just like start up the leader and ender deal again. So it'll give us a little bit more time before I have to cut a pile more of this. And then I can use that instead of just my little scrappy fabric on the end there. So good. That's some progress. Doesn't look like a lot, but this will be good. This will make like actually several of these. It'll probably make like, I don't know, probably 8 of these at least out of here. Gosh, probably even more. Yeah, so this actually goes, just these little squares will go a long way. It'll make like oodles of these. So yeah, I'm excited. We should process the other half though now. I mean, not now, but like the trimming off. Here, let's get that back again. we should, next time we work on this, though, we should go back in here and trim these, like cut all these in half and start trimming all these, because, I mean, we got 3 full stacks of these and all of these, which will make like a bunch more stacks of these. So that alone could probably make like 20 more of these blocks. So, you know, we might actually be getting to having close to enough of these for the chore quilt here. So we might want to just process these, sew them into the blocks, and then see where we're at, like do an assessment of where we're at. And maybe I'll calculate, that'd be a good next step. Next step, I'll calculate based on my measurements here, how many minimum of these blocks do we really need. I should be able to figure that out pretty easily here. So yeah, we have some next steps here. Okay, I like it. Maybe I'll even sit down tonight and do some of this math. Then we'll know exactly how many of these 10-inch squares we need, and then yeah, then we'll do this and just try and reach that number. But I do have enough right now just to continue with all of our everyday projects. So that feels good. Awesome, you guys. All right, so I know all we did was cut tonight, but this really is adding some process here. Collar or no collar? I am going to do a collar, so I'm going to go, here I'll show you up close. I'm going to go, it'll be pretty similar to this style A, which is quilted. This has like the quilted, it says there's like a quilted pattern or instruction somewhere in here where I don't need a lining, where it would actually be like I'd make quilted pieces, like I'd put the batting in and then I'd have to do some sort of lining or like opposite side of the quilt yet, so I don't quite know what I'm going to do for that. We'll have to figure that part out, but I think it'll all in all kind of look like this one. So it'll have this style of collar, not this style, not this like weird zigzaggy one, but this one that just kind of folds over. It'll look a lot like this actually. So one of those. That's I think the plan. This looks wonky, but I think it's going to be cute. And I don't know if I'll do all those buttons or whatever. We'll see. A zipper would actually work a whole lot better for me, so would it though? A zipper? Maybe I'll just do like really big buttons or something. I don't know. Something. That's down the line. We are not there yet. Next step, I'll just figure out how many squares I actually need for this project, and that'll be good. All right, you guys. So thank you so much again for hanging out with me this week. We got those 2 blocks from the Splendid Sampler done. That's awesome. We are in the 20s. We only have 29 more blocks to do now. The end is near. We're past the 80% point. That's great. All right. So have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday when we will start stitching our Winter Love embroidery. So that'll be fun. I'm excited for that. All right. Goodbye for real. Have a good weekend. Good night.